Ready, kids?
Aye, Captain!
I can't hear you. Oh!
You are in the
Ahoy there, mateys. It's time to set sail on another episode of Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast. I'm your captain, Jim Bob Ogleshorts, and tonight I found another fantabulous person over there hanging out on Instagram. She goes by the Queen of the Band. Voila, me introduced her to me. She's out there preaching the truth like the rest of us are, and found herself banned at around 16,000 on TikTok, which that's pretty good. And I figured I'd give her the opportunity to come over here and have a chat with us and maybe get some stuff out there that she hasn't been able to do since she's been banned. So, and we've got Uncle Johnny joining us tonight as well. And you know, it's always a fantabulous time when he's here. So we'll have some good conversation tonight, I think. Catching up on some news type stuff and other things like that, you know. So definitely appreciate you guys. You guys also know that anything that we do talk about tonight and anything to deal with our fantabulous guests can be found back at everyone's favorite website, unconstitutionalawakening.com. Your home for everything us. Man, there's all kinds of fantabulous things going on over there, even answering of the questions so that you can get you some of these sweet Unconstitutional Awakening stickers, man. Make sure you guys check that out in the podcast and more section and get yourself some sweet stuff, man. I'm giving them away entirely free. All you got to do is answer my silly joke at the end of this episode or previous episodes before or episodes here in the future while we're still doing it. So make sure you tune in tonight for that. Also, while you're over there at the website, you can figure out where to watch us if all you do is listen, and listen if all you do is watch us, as well as listen right here on the website, man. I got it hooked up there for you guys just to check out and hit the play button while you're there. There's also a link to get back to our sweet Unconstitutional Awakening merch store, where you can not only find you some of those stickers, but you can find those sweet shirts that you always see me wearing, and much more, man. There's so much cool stuff over there. Y'all get over there and give it a check on out. See if you can get yourself something nice. We've also got our friends in Liberty, Kirk Elliott, Peachy Key Creations, Ammo Can Survival, Brett Pike with Classical Learner and Homeschools Connected, and Pure Pet Wellness. All these folks are offering great alternatives to the status quo and the corporate nonsense that we've all been force-fed. So you guys go over there and give them a check out too, man. Anything you do to support them definitely supports us too. So, and we appreciate it. We appreciate it almost as much as we appreciate each and every one of you out there listening and watching, because you're the reason we keep doing this. So I guess it's time to weigh anchor and set sail on this guy.
Nice.
This meeting is being recorded.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So, of course, you guys, I was letting you know that my buddy John up there is back as normal this week, and our guest tonight, I found over there on Instagram. Of course, the way I found her over there was Queen of the Band, and I mean, hey, I gotta say, if you're getting banned, you're totally in line with everybody over here, because that's what led to all this nonsense. And I figured she's out there speaking the truth and stuff and getting banned for it too. So that's kind of content I like, because that makes you friends of ours for sure. So how's everybody doing this evening?
Very good.
Fantastic.
Just smoked the joint. I got very nervous, so I got that to relax, and I still messed up. So.
Oh, no worries. If the list, I wish I was. I need to record sometimes, even if chaos is going on, because at the blooper reels we would have from the nonsense that goes on beforehand. Good Lord.
Allegedly.
John, how's it going up there, buddy? Is it still freezing?
No, everything's melting and wet and slushy and shit, Jim Bob.
Well, it's still so hot here the past few days that I'm about to go back into shorts. I can't take it anymore.
All right. I'll be down in like a week. You just make.
I was cruising around with the windows down.
Me too.
Today.
Me too.
Unreal.
I mean, it's not supposed to. It's like the beginning to middle of February, and it's not supposed to be like this.
Yeah. Well, that the little groundhog guy saw his shadow. So it's six more weeks of winter, guys. That's the rules. That's
yeah. Okay.
All right. Well,
that's science.
Americans will use literally anything but the metric system.
I love to pop a bubble
right
on that one and be the bearer of bad news. But regardless, if you actually do the math from February 2nd to the spring solstice, well, it's 6 weeks regardless, no matter how you look at it.
Fair point. That's a very logical way to look at it. How dare you?
Oh, I mean, it's just doing what I can do, I guess. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes you just go different ways with different things. I find that a lot with everything. I example, I sit in the truck with a buddy of mine all day, and we have interesting conversations, kind of like we have here. And sometimes they get wild and deep and completely different point of views on a lot of things. But it's great for us to be able to have those conversations. And he actually listens to the show from time to time too, and we'll come back and be like, bro, you guys made total sense on that last night. And I'm just like,
nice.
I appreciate it and stuff. Him and Ghost, dude, they have found a fonding for you up there, John. Like they both, people are enjoying the way you're doing things, man. They're even following you on the rest of everything. So I appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate
glad to hear it, man.
Here with us, man.
This is where it all starts. Frankly, this was you contacted me when I had 10,000 followers, my guy. Like I've said before, that's where it all started. This is where it's going to stay. See where it goes. But yeah, man, there's definitely some spicy pieces of news out of Canada today specifically. But is there anything you want to address before I get into it in detail? I'm not sure what your agenda is.
When do I have
Go right ahead.
Yeah.
You always got good stuff.
Yeah. And
wow.
don't be scared. Nobody here bites. Well, I can't say that. I'm not sure about Luis. He seems a bit feral. So, always feel free to pick up in the way that
I can't wait
it
to
goes.
tell you who Luis reminds me of. But okay, so this is it.
Wait,
where do I
pump
start?
the brakes. Is that where we're gonna start? Who does Luis remind you of?
You know the Captain Spaulding a little bit. Does anyone get that reference?
Yes.
You
Gave me an idea. You
You just gave him that ideas.
When I first popped in, I thought he reminded me of one of my brother-in-laws.
Okay, brother-in-law.
That lives in California. So, but then I was like, no, that's not him.
Oh, I realized what you just said.
House of a Thousand Corpses. No, man, he's a G.
He is, dude.
He was better in Devil's. Is better in Devil's Rejects. Much better in Devil's Rejects.
That's literally it slapped my face.
You have much better teeth.
Well, okay. I'm sorry that you take that as a slap in the face like that. I thought that guy was amazing.
Yeah, me too.
His older acting career and just like him in general, because a lot of the character was just kind of an old man.
I'm looking at him. No, we don't look alike. I'm looking at how the guy looks normally without the makeup.
Beard shape. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that's what I
But
thought.
if we put the clown makeup on him with the beard right now,
Can we do that?
Yeah,
Yes.
totally be the young Captain Spaulding.
Halloween's only 9 months away.
Never too early to get started.
Never too early. Oh my God.
All right. Go to
So the CRA, Canada's IRS, I'll put it that way, right? They've decided, in all their wisdom and bureaucratic bullshit, that the $15 billion that they overpaid Canadians in COVID relief funds is too much of a hassle to recover. And that is a fucking fact.
So how are they gonna get the money?
What do you think about that? Because that to me really, I don't even know. Like, why do we have a CRA then? What's going on there? But there's
Well,
Anyway.
you're gonna get CBDC soon. So soon the government will just take the money out of the account.
No, it won't even. Well, like, so they're saying it's going to cost $15 billion. Like, because that's how I read it. Oh, it's not worth it because it's going to be too much of a hassle. It's going to cost us $15 billion to recover $15 billion. No, I'm saying
No. So what happened is they know that they paid themselves. And if they investigate it, they will reveal how much of this 15 billion went into their own pockets.
Exactly. They laundered that money and redistributed it, and it went into pockets to themselves. And they're like, we don't want to investigate where this money went because it's going to come back to us.
Yeah. Maybe we should fucking not pay our taxes or something. But like straight up in Minecraft, allegedly. But like seriously, I'm saying also FTX, I want to say they just asked the Democrats for their money back.
They're not going to get a dime. Maxine Waters is going to play senile. It's like, what? What did you say? I'm 82 years old. I don't know anything. What's
you
FTX?
Dumb motherfuckers think politicians are going to give you money back? You deserve to go fucking kaputs, man.
I mean,
idiot.
They're not genuine about it. They're just doing it as a show.
Fucking joke.
As an act.
Look at our Look at the IRS here in the US. They have now announced that they are going to go after the food service tips to tax them.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Don't tax
There is now a tip reporting that you can do if you're a manager of a restaurant on your waiters or waitresses and report their tips to be taxed.
No. All right.
Unbelievable.
What's that movie?
Of course, I'm not for it.
Christian Bale's son snitches on him. Equilibrium. Yeah, that's where we're headed.
Of course, I'm not for it, but I have run many a restaurant in my time, and it was always a thing that you did have to report tips, but flat out the way that I did it around it was the only tips that I had to see reported was the ones that were fucking digital or on paper, because at the pizza restaurant,
you tip in cash.
When I first started working at the pizza restaurant, it was that we still took checks. Like my first management job at Domino's, I ushered in online ordering and still took checks. Like it was kind of neat. But and you can this is off subject, but you can always double check this, and it's my one thing to brag about in life. I hold the Domino's pizza record and have not been beat. And it's been over 20 years since I've been there of fastest pizza ever made. I am actually the standard. You earn a pin because of me if you can even at least match my speed.
I need to see that picture with the plaque with your face.
Yes, I need to see this record picture, man.
I need you to go to Domino's headquarters and take a picture next to your picture and ask them, "Hey, do you remember
super
me?"
young. I'll dig for the picture, but there is a good picture of me like working there, floating around with a short ponytail and fucking. I look exactly the same though, like no beard. Beard's gone and I'm clean shaven, and I was 18 years old. Like I was a manager within the moment I was like old enough to be one. Like
okay, so I have a question. So does that only go for restaurants? Because I recently did like a little side hustle for DoorDash, and some motherfuckers some people don't tip good.
Yeah.
So what you just told me.
I think it's food service, period.
Well,
and I'm going to say you tip in cash and you label it as a gift.
Okay, well, and that's what I was getting to was the ones that had. Okay, so if you had it on a check or you had it on the credit card receipt, yes, I had no choice. I had to put that in the computer. The system knew about that you're getting taxed on that, even on your bullshit pay, because we were still making $5.50 an hour to deliver pizzas, and then friggin' when I went to the other restaurants and stuff, like sit down restaurants or Charlie's and shit like that, it was the same kind of stuff. Like it was only the ones that were on digital was the ones had to report. As far as your cash, like I never even asked for it. I told you the total that I needed from you out of your pocket for the night. And if there was cash involved, I didn't even want to hear about it. I did experience this dude that literally wanted to report down to the cent of his own cash every night that worked there. And even then I was just
he's a good little brainwashed boy.
I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like
It's a good American.
But to Bandit's point, 100%, like I'm a cash tipper. Like if you're I make sure I have cash just to tip, even if I'm using my debit card, which I try not to use. Like even if I'm using that for dinner, like that's like I'm still gonna give cash.
So in your management, I'm just trying to think of that. I'm just wondering if it's the same up here. You're saying if I tip debit, right? I pay the whole bill on debit, tip debit, then that's automatically reported, and then management is obligated to report to the tax man. Correct. So how do they recover those at the end? Is it worked into their paychecks?
So they take it out of your paycheck. Like people don't realize that this goes for servers and this goes for pizza delivery guys, because even to this day, pizza delivery guys, they have a split wage now. When they're in the store, they're making $7.25 an hour. When they're on the road, they're making $4 an hour.
Right.
And then their check that they get every 2 weeks is not only taxed for their full amount that it's taxed, but there's also extra taxes taken out because of the tips that had to be reported. I have seen people's paycheck in both fields be under $10 because of taxes.
What the fuck?
And because they get shit pay.
we get taxed into oblivion, and then we don't have universal health care. And it's such a slap in the face, because so the way generally it works is 5% of the population consumes like over 80% of the budget. And that 5% is the ones that are hurt and so on. But at any given time,
is that a real stat? That's insane.
Like 5% take the majority of the budget.
Google's
meaning
hiding
the people with cancer, the people with like severe disorders.
That's just there's a quality assurance term that talks about the 5% is 80 or 5. Yeah.
It's something like that. It's around 5% of the population consumes the majority of the budget. Now, the problem is we spend 10,000 per citizen in the United States, over 10,000. Somebody told me up to 19,000, but you guys spend 3,000 something.
Yeah.
You guys spend nothing, and you have some decent healthcare system. I mean, I've spoken to other Canadians, and they tell me, dude, it's amazing. So that's the thing. It's perspective, because the thing is, they say, oh, we have to wait for months. I'm like, so do we. What are you talking
it's a good point, man.
We also have to wait for months for certain appointments. You can get like a primary care appointment, and if you have an actual emergency, yeah, you get it instantly.
Well,
like, what are you talking about? Even in Canada, if it's a life-througning problem, you generally will get an appointment pretty quickly.
I mean, okay.
For now.
Now take this from another.
Take
this from the pirate.
Neocons.
You guys want to hear about the pirate way?
Well, let me just tell you what Trudeau just proposed to the premiers today. That's our governors of our provinces, to put it in perspective.
The criminals of your provinces. Gotcha.
Sure. Doug Ford is Rob Ford's brother. You may know him. He's the premier of Ontario. You may know him as the crack smoking mayor of Toronto. Good guy. I actually like that guy. What a beauty. Anyways, he's R.I.P. R.I.P. Anyway, that motherfucker's dead. So anyways, he met with all of them, and he offered, by the way, remember how I said the CRA is not going to bother with 15 billion recovery? So they're going to spend actually 50 billion extra on healthcare, but only if if the provinces agree to better track data. And essentially what that means is they want to get the digital ID, what's the word? Mandatory. So, so he's holding the money hostage. You have to agree to do that.
How does the digital ID function? What do you understand? Because in the United States, about 5 states have digital ID options available. So I believe in Illinois and a few other states, they've already implemented it so that, for example, on your iPhone and on your Android, you can have an actual legal version of your ID that works on your cell phone. as an option you can add on. So you can literally add your license, but although, when the cops stop you, the last thing you want to do is give the cop your phone.
Fuck no.
That's a fucking good point.
Don't even talk to cops, boys and girls.
No,
Well,
Harvard.
if the cop stops you, speak to the cop.
I mean,
You have no choice.
Speak. I mean,
speak the minimum, the
minimum.
least amount of words possible.
The least amount of words you can possibly use. And don't flinch, because they'll take that as you reaching for a gun and probably shoot you and your dog.
Oh, well, it's usually put your hands on the wheel when the cop is coming towards you, and keep your hands on the wheel, and then say, "Officer, I am moving my left and right hand."
Can I tell you what happened when I got pulled over like a month ago in Canada? The officer shook my hand, knocked my ticket down, and told me to have a good day, brother. It was a great experience.
I mean, it's Canada. I mean, what you guys get? Those guys ride the Mounties up there ride around on mooses and stuff, don't they?
I don't believe so anymore. Maybe for traditional parades, but
wait. There's actual pictures of them riding on mooses ever.
Listen, first of all, I don't know why meese is not plural for moose. It is for goose. But secondly, those things are badass. If you see a motherfucker riding one of those, you would be very, very concerned. But I think it was just horses, unfortunately.
I feel if anybody was riding a moose, they would die just getting off the moose.
Oh, you'll die. Those things will kill you. No, they will stomp you till you're dead.
I literally thought this was all cops in Canada. Like, I just this is how I seen it going down. Like with
what is the plural for moose? Meese? Moose is meese?
Meese. It isn't. But
isn't it like deer? It's just moose.
I want to make I really think it's the English language really missed an opportunity there, in my opinion.
All right, now I'm gonna have to look it up now, just because.
What is the plural?
Oh, it's not. I made it up.
Moose.
But it follows.
The plural of moose is moose.
Yeah.
Deer.
but the plural of goose is what?
Geese.
Right, that's right.
Wait, it depends on the goose we're talking about. Are we talking about y'all's goose?
Well, those
motherfuckers.
That was green.
Good
that
point.
was the cutest thing. Watusi. My mom was like, they thought they adopted a boy. It's like, no, it was a girl. I'm like, who cares? Like, my mom was like, oh, but I'm like, oh, it was laying eggs. Like, what's wrong with that?
That's actually
eggs were like this big.
Jesus. That's a great segue into my next story out of Canada about the Catholic boy, the 16-year-old Catholic school student who got arrested for saying that the gender was two people, male and female. And I was like,
I saw that.
So we're arresting
He was arrested for saying there's only genders.
He just said in class, like, I think gender male and female. And then it's a Catholic school, first of all. He espoused a Catholic view, and then they arrested him. And I just got to tell you.
Didn't they originally kick him out or expel him? And then didn't he? I thought he tried to come back, and then they arrested him outside the school. Was that it? Because I think I do remember seeing this yesterday or the day before.
You know what? I'm not sure about the backstory. I just saw the
I'm not either. But no,
it did happen.
Oh yeah, you're right. They actually did arrest him for what he said, though. It was.
But what was the charges? Because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard yet.
Freedom.
I mean, I know you guys
freedom of speech is alive and well.
Is it the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard?
This week.
Yeah, we're only on Wednesday.
This week.
I got another one. This one happened back in January. You guys have Girl Scouts, right, down there?
Yeah.
So the younger version, before you reach the Scout age, we're called Beavers. The boys were called Beavers, obviously Canadian. The girls were called Brownies.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just outlawed that name because it's racially insensitive. So
how? How?
I don't know. I honestly don't.
How is a brownie insensitive to any group? It's a brownie. It sounds like
Someone spent time and effort
sounds
on
like
that.
food.
And
Sounds like they're yummy.
And they really fucking thought they made a difference when they changed that. Meanwhile,
You mean like when they took the African American mascots off of the food?
Did the Canadian government distribute 1950 Fahrenheit 451 to every member and then told them this is exactly what we need?
This is what we need to do. Burn the book after you read it. Don't get any ideas. That's a fantastic book, by the way. Well, I'll tell you, we're not the only ones doing that. You talk about Florida and I heard the really Muslim parts of Michigan are burning books straight up right now. So yeah, Florida's banning
books in Florida.
They're banning them from all the schools. In Michigan, they literally are having book burning parties.
Okay. I know what books they're talking about. They're not. What they're doing is they're just not allowing kids to get them.
Are you talking about the Michigan folks or the Florida folks?
The Florida. They're not allowing them in the main system, so kids can't access them because they're adult books.
You might as well fucking burn them then, in my opinion.
No, they're accessible everywhere. They're just not accessible to kids. It's the equivalent of not letting them access pornography.
Do you think the odds of them reading it will be less just because it's not as convenient, though?
What's the book?
It's a series of books.
There's many. They're banning it.
Is it by this David Crosby?
I don't know.
I believe
so. I'll tell you what book is actually atrocious, full of murder and rape. It's called the Bible. They should ban that book.
But this is the thing. The U.S. they use the term ban. They're not banning them. They're just taking them out of selection for children. It's not
for now. Just saying. I don't like
the books are. They're literally gutter trash books.
Okay.
They're trash.
Okay, but like they took out now. I'll take an example there where I'm gonna call.
I think you should ban
a weird bluff for some reason. This is kind of out there, but when I was coming up in school, we read The Outsiders, and now that book's banned.
What's The Outsiders? Tell us more, Jim.
It's about a bunch of punk kids growing up in the 50s and becoming men and shit, and like it's
coming of age, as they say.
It's like a coming of age like story. Like it was a great book to read. They made a cheesy ass movie out of it. The movie doesn't know justice whatsoever. But like that was probably one of the first novels one of the first novels I can always recall that is now not offered in school anymore because it incites some kind of nonsense.
Well, me and Luis had a conversation today about I think Luis has been doing a lot of what's it called in Hannibal where it's the mind cabinets or the mind library or whatever.
Jedi mind tricks on you?
He's showing me, he's talking to me about mind patterns and all this stuff and talking about I think it was
Minecraft.
Judging people. And like I talked about how reading literature, and I've been a big reader. I read fucking Stephen King when I was 11 years old, right? Explains a lot actually. But anyways, everything that I see the world through is through those lenses of experiencing different lives, different perspectives. So I think you can tell my stance on the book banning of any variety. I don't think you should ban any single book.
No, and the thing is, these books, this is the thing. They're not banned.
Right, but even just pulling them out of schools, like a lot of kids will only read a book in school, and I'm not, I would like to see.
Even though
have you seen one of the books they banned, which was genderqueer? I mean, you can see why the book was banned from little kids reading it.
But they're probably banning some classics too. They must be.
We should
all right, I'm gonna look up the list.
All public.
Pull up the list. Pull it up.
Giant libraries.
I don't have a computer.
But most libraries keep the books. It's more of access to children. That's it. That's what they're really doing.
No. I mean, I'm against public schools, so I say here's something good to do with the thing. Just turn it into giant libraries.
I mean,
okay. I kind of like that. I'm down.
Decentralizing the system and dismantling the public school system completely. It's broken. So
and turn the building.
We started again
into giant.
I don't hate that.
Just with every book that you could possibly imagine.
Did I tell you, my sister
worked
at a library for 6 years, they're not really places where people go and read now. You know what they are? Is they're unofficial daycare centers and they're homeless shelters. And that's what librarians deal with now.
Well, that's sad. It doesn't seem to be that way around here. I will say the homeschool moms and stuff, and there's a lot going on at our libraries, at our little local town library. Like my old lady and the kids are up there, and she's not dropping them off. She's up there with them. Like
she's up there reading and shit. That's good. That sounds like a nice, safe library.
So the libraries also grant digital access to these books.
Yeah,
that's the thing people don't understand is it's digital access. They're not physically going to the library. They're just getting a digital PDF of it.
So Daisy, how you doing?
Right, Daisy. Let's jump over to you.
I'm good.
Hey, Daisy.
Silent, and you are
taking everything in.
You are a first timer over here, and I see you a lot over there in the conspiracy world and stuff like that, and that's where, that's where I earn the hat. So it's always a world that I love to kind of dive back into, because I have probably dug through the craziest of craziest conspiracies you could ever imagine of wanting to sit through. Like there's some of them out there, people are like, I'm not going to get into that. I'm like, okay, cool, let's go do it. Like, and I do see you posting out there a lot. So what's your favorite conspiracy?
Well, right now, currently I got banned off of TikTok recently over in Colombia. There was this elderly woman. She survived the death spin. When you get the vaccine, you see the spirits and stuff, and then they try and get away. And this lady explained in detail what she saw. She saw the demons. She explained there was a certain smell. It took her to a place. She became suicidal. It was, the interview was crazy. The interview was crazy. And, that was only up for a couple of hours. And I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of posting, and I rather much do podcasts, because I see that every time I post, it doesn't stay up for long, and it's not bring awareness. And I feel that podcasts is something that people can, bring awareness more.
Never give up posting like that. I talk about this all the time, because sometimes even podcast episodes don't do as well, but it still gets out there, and I'm just going to keep posting over it regardless of what platform it is, even if it's one like or no likes, because I like all the likes. I'm not out here for the likes, but I do like, I reach people, you know what I'm saying? Like I know those people that actually take the time to pay attention to it are people that were actually reached and understand, and those are the people I'm talking to. You know what I'm saying? Like
and that's why I use the word like awareness. I'm not here for the popularity. I'm not here to convince anybody. It's for awareness. It can be 3 views. It can be, but as long as the views stayed and the likes didn't matter, then I want the views to matter more than the likes.
Right.
That's bringing awareness.
It is. It's a tough job. John here, I don't think there's always something fresh I can throw at John's face, and he's just like, oh my God, I didn't know that. And, we'll dive into the conspiracy end, because I don't think he was too much into that world as much, but his news world.
Nah. I roll deep on conspiracies. You got some more nuance to yours, but
bro, you knew nothing about Hitler's still being alive. So
I did. I never dug into it like y'all. And I mean, I'm still not really convinced on that one. But I haven't reviewed some of the stuff you sent, so I got to do that. But what about the Bible code, bro?
What, the Da Vinci Code thing?
No. It's that vid I sent.
The Bible code. Details. So what you do is you go to the old Hebrew and then you structure it in a grid form.
Correct.
That's how they started seeing things in the Bible code.
Correct.
Like some very fucked up things. Yeah, it's
no. The freakiest one was related to the space shuttle, because they wrote shuttle
or the missile.
There's like all these words in the same pages, which you're like, okay, what are the odds?
So you have to have a Bible that's translated in, or that is written in Old Hebrew.
So it's
overlay
Old Hebrew. So you do
only Old Hebrew.
all of Hebrew. Yeah, you take old Hebrew and then you structure it in a grid form. So they have to computerize the entire thing in order to be able to read it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if
there it is.
Pi, a good movie about this type of subject.
Is that Christopher Nolan's first movie? Oh no, that's Aronofsky's first movie.
So Pi showcases the point that Hebrew is a mathematical language.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it, one of the oldest languages on earth is mathematical.
Yeah, dude. That one fucked me up. It's weird.
I mean, the Jewish people are really good accountants. So that's a great stereotype. They're really good at numbers.
That does make sense, though. That it makes sense to me because, back before then, we didn't know how to speak, so the language for it to be mathematical, it makes sense because back then the Anunnaki was the one that gave us that, or so they say. If that's the conspiracy,
and this is so
that you guys believe in, then
so
that's
this is the Great Flood, and the concept of what is the Anunnaki. It all correlates together. Some people believe that the concept of what is the the Anunnaki groups, come from who were the remnants post flood.
So what if?
So post the Great Flood that decimated all the civilizations that we had globally, we were.
You mean the flood referenced in every Abram? How do you say that?
Pre-Abrahamic religions. Yeah.
Yeah, every one. Yeah,
every single one. I mean,
Gilgamesh.
And so all of it.
And so when that last world-ending event,
13,000 years
Abrahamic.
When that no, I'm just saying, all right. You had people that knew how to also read that and use those readings for their personal gain and secrecy while doing things backwards.
Classic.
We talk about them all the time, bro. Like this could tie some interesting things in there. I mean, you know how I feel about this whole situation. Like, I mean, you know how I feel about this whole, like, I bet, I wish I could find the dude. I could find the dude, but I can't get in.
If the Bible, I'm just gonna say it, if the Bible literally has all these predictions in it and it's literally like that, and that is the reality, then this is definitely a fucking simulation, my guy. That's all I got.
Listen, exactly.
That's all I got fucking say.
Because at a certain point when things get crazy wild like that, you just gotta.
And it's all mathematical, like,
and see, but you got, but see that this whole thing makes the removed books even more interesting because who has the Bible code of the removed books?
Sure.
Oh, that's another point, is that they've removed so many books, and in relationship to the math, I just saw, and I sent it to Jim Bob, somebody explaining gravity and what the concept of what dark matter is. That dark matter is gravity. And I'm like, so in Einstein's lifetime, they had figured that out. And to this day, we still say something else. I like that point. I mean, in physics, you'll find there's multiple theories. That's why you see things like zoo theory, which I actually believe, if we're in this realm, zoo theory is the most logical, which means aliens are out there. There's filters set up so we can't understand their presence is visibly available to us, but they're literally here, and we just can't perceive them. And that's zoo theory.
Yeah,
we're just entertainment. I mean, but the question is, are we entertaining?
We are entertaining.
We are. I mean,
we have to be entertaining.
I like the ant race a lot.
Or are we like monkeys? Because I think we're better than ants because we like throw our shit at each other. Literally.
There's an alien race that is millions of years more advanced than us.
They're watching us.
Sitting at their tables every night, or sitting on their couch every night watching
just
this
switching
podcast,
channels, going through different parts of the world. It's like
they're watching this podcast and they're going, "Really? They haven't discovered this yet? Really?" Seriously, they're watching this like the Comedy Central.
I wrote a script about this. So, like some random person on Earth is the most famous person in like multiple systems. And how an aliens come to Earth to abduct his turtle, and they break the filter, and the entire world gets a broadcast of what everybody else is seeing.
Let's go.
And the world accidentally realizes, oh, we're being watched by an alien race.
So would you be horrified or honored if you were like, you found out you're like one of the main characters of the reality show Earth?
Well, it's both an honor and a curse, because that means there was a camera watching me this whole time.
Well, there is.
That's invisible in your house. Like there's a camera right here floating.
Big brother.
In that case, they probably aren't going to abduct me then.
I mean,
why do you say that, Bandit?
No, we're not.
You never know. They might
come
be
across an
very...
alien transmission that is being beamed throughout the entire universe.
Wait, what's that?
When decoded, it looks like this.
What does it mean?
It's simple mathematical language that can be understood throughout the solar system. Translated into our language, it looks like this.
This gentleman at 8 o'clock. It's everyone's favorite show, Earth. It's been 100 Galgamars since we first took species from 17 different planets and put them all together on the same planet. They've fought and fallen in love. What will happen this Galgamar? Tune in Janimon at 8 to find out. It's Earth on Foggle.
On Foggle. It must have been fun making up those fucking words. Apparently those two maniacs just sit in a room for a week and write the whole thing.
And I bet
they have, I think it's under 10 writers too. So it's not even that many writers.
You know, they took acid and went to the Oscars in a dress.
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh, that was that time they took the acid.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker are. I would like to just sit and pick their brains for like an hour. Just give me an hour, please. I would love to just sit down, no cameras, no nothing, and just talk for like an hour.
Bro, I would.
Maybe some shrooms.
Oh, maybe with shrooms on.
Yeah, maybe some psychedelics, but man, yeah.
When they did this,
I forgot they both wore dresses.
Do you remember their movie Basketball?
Oh my god.
Basketball.
Oh yeah.
Basketball.
Classic.
I remember it. Like I didn't even have to.
What about?
It actually came up for it.
What about Orgasmatron?
Oh my god, man!
When comedy existed, so that's
yeah.
Comedy
and bigger, longer, and uncut.
I mean.
I just still love that to this day.
I never really thought of that.
How you know, just the point of Saddam Hussein and Satan being partners. Yeah, being partners.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Daisy, welcome to the club. Welcome. This is usually how it goes. You know, how many episodes are we on? 150 what now?
156. Well,
156.
This is 156, but if you include our specials, we're.
I can count on one hand the number of episodes where we have stuck to a specific talking point and talking points through the entire show. Usually it just we come in with the full intent of having like this is what we're going to talk about.
Oh, so the Nord Stream
Christmas episode. We talked a lot about Christmas. We did good on that one.
Yep. So that was one. Yeah.
For Christmas, Nord Stream. Remember that thing that happened not too long ago, where the CIA actually blew up that gas pipeline and then blamed the Russians for blowing up their own gas pipeline. And how the evidence just came out that it was us that did it. Even though with a functioning brain cell.
Well, there's an investigative journalist that says he hasn't exposed it yet, but he says
I sent you the article too.
That's false news.
Yes, but
of course, from Reuters.
Guys,
Tom from Reuters said it. Everybody, we must know.
They were the ones that did. Weren't they the ones that put that article up? That I was included in one of their articles. Wasn't it Reuters?
Dude, we had
Reuters.
No, seriously,
the one where they.
Tom from Reuters.
We had the one where they mentioned Neptune and William Wallace up the other night.
They included us.
You're talking about Bellingcat, or you're
Reuters. Reuters included us too one time.
I hate Reuters.
Yeah,
it's Reuters.
But anyway, there's an investigative journalist that says he has
I sent you
overwhelming evidence that we did it, but he hasn't exposed it yet. But he just came out and says he has
the
it. Right?
Overwhelming evidence is your brain is working, right? Okay, your brain is working.
Yes,
that's the overwhelming evidence.
Maybe my brain is working about halfway.
There was the only other real suspects is Amsterdam.
Yeah,
the only other in the Netherlands. So there's mix of ideas. They think there was potentially, if anybody, it was either the Danes, because the Danes are now selling the gas.
It was impossible for us to deny because. We had a ship.
That's the only competitor is the Danes. So the Danes have a financial benefit from destroying the pipeline.
We had a ship with a crew of naval demolition experts that was their main job, is to set explosives on underwater pipelines.
And by chance they were right there.
Yeah. They were right there. I mean,
by the way, I wrote about this like literally or a few decades ago, how easy it is to disconnect the entirety of the world's internet in a single day.
Right.
All you have to do is drop bomb charges into water and explode the lines. You just have a couple of boats in different parts of the world, half the planet's internet goes off. I am not revealing any secret. It is not.
No, it's common knowledge.
Well, it's common knowledge to people to understand that the world is connected actually through a series of pipes. So that's kind of funny. It's like the internet is actually a series of tubes. It's not connected through space. That's like the proxy shitty version.
Yeah, Al Gore knows all about this.
Pipes and tunnels.
He invented the internet, according to
right. That's what I was getting at.
He also says every single day, 600,000 Hiroshima bombs go off.
And tracks across the bottom of the ocean floor.
600,000.
But he's super serial, man. He's super serial about bear pig.
He's a billionaire that has a Angus farm and rides around in private jets. That in a single flight is the equivalent of your entire year's carbon footprint.
So do I just need to like act like that? I guess I need to be an Al Gore. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, you have to tell everybody that you're fighting for climate change as you are consuming as much carbon as humanly possible.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure that's the right way to do it. It seems
it's like Leonardo DiCaprio talking about climate change as he always rides in his private jets.
Is that why Is that why he's got that underage girlfriend right now?
No, she's 19.
Yeah, she's.
I mean,
19.
she can't drink.
She can't drink.
She is 30 years younger than him.
Okay,
he just wanted somebody that didn't remember 9/11 happened.
Look, all these old fucks do this shit. It's not that uncommon. It's the fact that they're 19 that it's kind of like, dude, really 19?
Well, I mean, the same amount of years separates those two as Buzz Aldrin and his new wife.
Buzz Aldrin's 90 something. That
94, and
it doesn't matter.
Well,
age doesn't matter after a certain point.
Does it? So I mean, so it's okay for then it's okay for Leonardo DiCaprio to have a 19-year-old girlfriend, right?
Honestly, it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
She's a grown adult. It just sounds creepy, but really, it's fine.
It just sounds
it's a grown
creepy.
adult. She's a grown adult.
And it was a point to make a couple good jokes. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm all about the jokes, you know. He can do what he wants in that regard, but I am gonna make fun of him for it.
Yeah,
right. We're gonna make at a certain age. I don't think guys realize that at a certain age we're gonna make fun of you for having the youngest girlfriend in the room. Like, it's just gonna happen. Like, even if she's in her 20s,
women are now doing the same thing. They're getting young boyfriends.
We're gonna be
because
like,
they're making more money.
Like, where'd you find her at the skating rink? Like, I mean, it's just
skating rink.
Leo, the
skating ring.
I'm on fire.
Skating ring. Why didn't you just say bowling alley?
Because
I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio found her at a bowling alley.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna find Leo at a skating rink.
He's out there getting turkeys, man. Turkeys, is that what they're called?
Okay, when you watched Wolf of Wall Street, you were actually just watching Leonardo DiCaprio's weekend.
I believe that.
Yeah,
I believe that.
Leonardo DiCaprio is worth 10 times more than what Jordan Belfort was worth.
Do you remember when he was just the young little blonde kid and all the side shit?
What's eating Gilbert Grape?
Yes.
Or as like one of his most unknown parts wasn't he? He was in Critters 2.
He was in Critters 2.
Basketball Diaries.
Yeah.
He was the teenage heartthrob for all the girls when like most of them.
How did we get on this subject anyway?
Oh, by the way, see, teenage heartthrob. So he now goes for teenagers. There you go.
So it hasn't really changed. It's just he keeps.
He's Matthew McConaughey from Dazed and Confused, essentially.
But Matthew McConaughey is gay.
Do you know that Matthew McConaughey gave a speech on gun control for some reason?
Oh my! Because he's from Uvalde.
Yeah, and
he's from Uvalde,
and he's also he's like Sean Penn.
Okay, at least there's like one reason. I was so confused as to why the fuck I was watching the pervy guy from Dazed and Confused address the nation on gun control.
Because
when those people,
like Sean Penn, they're gun control advocates.
Yeah,
some of the pawns for the government.
He's a Hollywood elitist piece of shit that should keep his opinion. He should keep his opinion to himself. He can voice it. Just don't expect people to just jump and go, "Oh my God, I should just give up. I should just do whatever he says."
I think Biden's office thought that was a home run. I think they thought it was going to go over real well.
Well, he thought about running for office in Texas.
Yeah, and that got shut down really quick.
I mean, they did do better. I mean, McConaughey would be better than Beto. Let's be real.
Oh,
anybody's better than Beto.
Can it be the McConaughey character from True Detective? That guy specifically. Then I'm in.
Got into politics.
No. How can we get Matthew McConaughey's character from Reign of Fire? That would be the only one that would be acceptable to run for office.
I go for the one from Sahara.
Okay.
At least he's fighting a cartel that is trying to poison the water supply. Oh wait, that's
as someone who is an avid reader of Clive Cussler, like I think I've got almost all of his books. He did not do Dirk Pitt justice in the movie Sahara because it's based on a book that I read a long time ago, and I expected so much more. And then when I saw Matthew McConaughey is going to portray Dirk Pitt, when you read his books, you get a Magnum PI vibe. Tom Selleck in the 80s, Magnum PI vibe.
Mustache.
That type of character. And then you get Matthew McConaughey and you're just like, well, very disappointing. Very disappointing.
That is often the case. The movie never lives up to the book. What about a book about like two young boys, one of them's an orphan, and the father it loves them both, and they get pulled into a violent world as they go through historical events. Like, does that sound like a good book? It's called The Kite Runner. They banned it in Florida, Luis. All right, it's a big book. I looked it up.
But look up what's the definition of banned.
It's not allowed in schools, from what I read.
Yeah.
So I mean, but like,
it's still a travesty.
It's a good book. It's a good book. I can't believe
I'm not going to
But
disagree with you with banning
spoiler,
information.
It's about an Afghanistan family. So I think that's the reason why it's banned for whatever reason, because the end of it goes into what happens when the US came in. So I'm just saying that's a bad one, and that one book pisses me off. Just had to come back. I know.
I'm not
letting that fucking Trump wannabe fucking off the hook. Listen, he can suck a dick. He can fucking.
I know I give like California and New York a hard time a lot, but like Florida can break off and go somewhere else too. Like
it might. It just might, my friend.
Like I'm okay with not keeping Florida. I don't claim Florida. Like they're just down there doing their kind of own thing. Like the rest of the South isn't as
it's the nation's penis. What's wrong with you? Then we're gonna lose our erection.
It is the
like I can go to other beaches. Like that place is insane. I'm good.
Oh wait, the beaches in Florida are garbage. What are you
talking about?
They are. Every time I've ever been, they've been disappointing. I have to say that. Like I don't like the beaches in Florida every time.
Come to Puerto Rico, the colony of the United States, where exploitation is alive and well.
Wow.
Yes. See, I might vanish. Like who knows?
Oh, I mean, you can vanish into the mountains to never be heard from again. Also, you won't have internet, so you'll be.
Listen,
fine.
if I catch the ability to go to sea, like that's it. It's over. It's pirates.
I mean, the fact that you could become an actual pirate in Puerto Rico. I mean, come on, man. What are you waiting?
That sounds that sounds lucrative.
I'm a pirate. My friend's actually a descendant of one of the most famous pirates in Puerto Rico, and he actually still has an active treasure that's never been found.
What? Let's go right now.
The pirate was called Cofresi, and he evidently had a treasure that was lost at sea, and it's worth minimum like $100 million. So it's literally worth searching for. I mean, there's galleons of ships. So we're talking, there were gigantic ships off the coast of Colombia that had billions of dollars of worth of gold. And the Spanish government was like, yeah, we like to have that back. And the Colombian government told them,
no dice, not happening. That's like asking
it's our
Democratic
gold,
Party to return $90 million of donations.
There's lots of lost gold in the Atlantic, though. Like,
FTX is asking for the $1 billion they gave in donations back. They're never going to
90. I think it was 90 mil.
No, that's the reported number. So even Elon was like, it's like $1 billion.
Good luck with that.
You're not gonna get a dime.
Look, all right. I'm not a fan of, like, I am by no means a fan of Elon Musk. Like, he's just not. He's
Elon
on my
is
radar.
Also part of the military industrial complex.
He's part of all the stuff. Yeah, like he's like. He's totally Tony Stark in the background. People don't.
I mean, Tony Stark was
smart,
a warmonger that built advanced weapons for the U.S. military. His father in the storyline created Captain America, also worked for the military directly. Elon Musk is the South African that has been chosen to be the beacon of advanced technological research and development for the U.S. government because he is good at making these gigantic projects move forward. That's why he's been gifted the ability to do these. Starlink is a military project shrouded as a civilian internet service system. It is a joke that people are dumb enough to believe that Starlink is not a gigantic military project.
So is the interstate, though. I mean, I can sit here and give you the same argument.
We all know it's a military project to get the tanks to go everywhere.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying though. Like I'm not a fan of the interstate.
That's actually a great comparison. Starlink is an equivalent to the highway, to the American highway system. It's just the digital version in outer space.
People give me
thousands of satellites in outer space right now
because
Starlink put up there, and that's the U.S. military that put those things up there. Starlink is just the proxy by which they speak of. Oh, it's just for everybody to have access to the internet, and we will know everywhere where you are at all times.
It's not to spy on you. Whoops! Why did I say that? Why did I say?
Not at all.
I can get to Nashville, and I can get down to the Gulf without ever getting on the interstate, and I can also do the same to get over to Myrtle Beach from where I am. Like I do not like the interstate.
Are we taking a canoe down the river?
Listen, dude, I will avoid. I have seen a lot
I
of
wonder if
places.
any. What was the last time somebody went from the north? Actually, who went from Canada all the way down?
Does Buffalo to
the
Georgia
Gulf
count?
Coast? Is that how possible is that?
There's 2 spots that you have absolutely no choice
But to get out and get back in.
But to get on the highway, but it's for a grand total.
I haven't gone from Canada to the Gulf Coast, but I've gone from the
Buffalo.
northern tip of Illinois to Gulfport, Mississippi.
Yes.
Well, I mean, get on a boat and go in a river from Canada all the way down. Is there a connection like that existing?
No, I don't think so.
Topography
Well,
experts-
no, I take
geography
that back.
experts. Is there a river that connects Canada and the United States?
Can you hit one of? I think you might be able to get into the Great Lakes and then go all the way down to.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Could you do that? Can you?
Yeah, you
a
could.
body of water connected from Canada
Yes.
all the way down to Gulf.
Yeah.
I literally live on Lake Huron. Like I could walk there right now. So okay, that's good. Right now, glad to hear.
You could use that. You could use that. Listen, you can use the tunnels underneath there to
Oh,
escape back
yeah.
to the ocean.
John, do you know about the tunnels?
Underneath Lake Huron?
No.
Underneath the
Globally,
United
there's a
States,
network
globally,
of
and everywhere.
tunnels in the United
guys
States,
mentioned-
Americas.
And what? They come from the Denver airport or some shit, right?
No.
They're for submarines.
There's submarine drops in like Utah and shit, bro. Like,
I have heard this. I have actually heard this, and I've heard
you
you
can
guys
also
bring
get
it
to
up.
the Great Lakes and stuff through
So-
submarine and stuff.
Okay, so there was this
Submarine.
book about these tunnels, and I was stupid enough not to buy it because it was in German, but I should have.
Yeah.
Because literally it's a book in German. What the fuck was I gonna do? Look
Yeah.
how just hold it. I
Yeah.
can't find it now.
Damn.
But this book had the maps to like lots of tunnels all over Europe, all over the Americas. So if you didn't know, there is a tunnel that connects Morocco and Spain.
Correct.
No shit.
There is a tunnel that connects all of South America.
Yeah, but
There's
what are the
tunnel
odds?
networks.
Would those fall on us at this point? Are those fuckers stable? Like,
So a friend of mine went to the entry of one of those tunnels in New Mexico, and they found the government was there.
oh hi, oh
They
hey,
found government agents at the tunnel entrance.
Oh shit.
They couldn't
Oh, no.
go in. They
that's
found
probably-
random government agents in the middle of nowhere.
it's the mole people.
It's so some of these tunnels are in the great parks, but they went to one that was in New Mexico, and then we're like, well, maybe it's still open, and then they went. It was closed by the government.
Shut down.
It's possible also those tunnels are used even by cartels. So it's so many different things. Remember, the cartels move a lot of the stuff underground.
That's literally Sicario. Literally, yeah. They definitely use tunnels. That's a fact.
All right. This has always been one of my
And
things.
turtles too.
People are a big thing that I like to point out. Like this is just one of Jim Bob's crazy moments. We are always gandering up in the air and such like that, and worried about things like Chinese spy balloons and what's happening on Mars and shit like that. And
Sure.
they do a damn good job at distracting us from asking about what's under the ground and what's in the fucking ocean. Like
What about the Arctic?
we don't
Yeah.
know squat about underneath the water, and we don't know squat about we don't know too much.
We
about
have not
tunnels and
explored
shit.
90% of the ocean.
These tunnels and stuff. Like more and more people are learning about them and stuff, and a lot of people still call me crazy for them, and that's okay. I don't care. But like these tunnel systems and stuff, they're clearly there. So there's definitely something going on underground. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell
Well,
me there's
if
not.
our friend that was here recently, if his stories are real, everybody's mind should explode. Because
I mean, I agree, and I
he,
mean, I
he
believe his
speaks with
stories.
he speaks so genuinely. So that's the freakiest part. I'm not. I don't doubt his like the genuine nature of his being.
Yeah, he
But
doesn't seem to have.
Genuinity.
He doesn't
Genuinity.
seem to have an agenda. You
Genuine.
know, when I see him, he actually seems like a
The tricky one.
good God. He has that. I mean, of course, he kind of has an agenda. Don't get me wrong. He's trying to prove that we
That
didn't
there's
go to the
people
moon.
inside of a mountain, Mount Shasta.
Oh, you mean you're talking about Lowell even?
Lowell. I'm talking about Lowell.
I thought you were talking about Bart. But we have some outrageous people on here, man, that have some.
There's a few people that have been on this show that have like you think, man.
Listen,
dude, you got to listen to Lyle's episode. It's crazy. It's cool as heck. Like everything he goes through.
And then, not only Lowell, but like I know Bandit will back me up, and I know Neptune likes her too. But Miss Vicky, she's a medium that we've had on here, and she brings not only the best ghost stories, but she also like she can make you uncomfortable real quick. Like,
that nothing compares to
nothing compares to Cat and Kate. Like,
Cat and Kate.
They'll
scare the shit out of you. Yep.
And I want to be on with them.
Oh man, there's all we get all over the place. You never.
If you wanna be on an episode where they purposely try to make me uncomfortable, we'll just wait till the next episode when we get them back on. If they ever come back on, when I'm on, they purposely target me in the entire episode just to make me uncomfortable.
I don't know why you feel uncomfortable.
I'll try and take some heat. Off you. But I will laugh.
They use their awesome seeing powers or whatever and just get under Bandit's skin, and it's quite entertaining.
Well, no, not just that. It's like the way that when they mock. When it's like that's what she said, and no. That just they they know what gets to me, and it's funny though.
It is. No, it's good. It's
you have to have an ISO of you saying no.
A button. Create a button to push just for that.
Sound bites? Definitely. You guys should start fucking with sound bites. I fully support that.
So Daisy, what do you think has been the most important untalked about thing in the past week on the media that's probably had your attention?
Let's see. The thing that's gotten, I think the balloon. The balloon, when they shot down the balloon, they have pictures, the close-up pictures of when they shot it down.
Smoky, huh?
Yeah, we spent $100 million jet and shot a missile at it.
Yeah, so it's like that could have been like some sort of like CGI also. We just don't know what the fuck is like real.
Well, the Chinese confirmed it. The Chinese did confirm it was their balloon, and then after we shot it down, the Chinese said that was uncalled for. You didn't need to shoot it down. We hold the right to fight to discipline you.
Balloon found on Friday.
Oh no, that they've found now. I saw the report. They've been finding them all over the world.
Yeah, there's one over South Korea.
They're all over the world. Now, this is the thing. We have balloons all over the planet, but they're at 120,000 feet. So ours are not visible. Theirs are really janky, so they're visible. Ours are not.
Did you know that while all that was happening a couple of days before, they raided the Chinese police station in New York City?
I know. You did a report on that. I was like, oh, that's wonderful. I'm so happy that they finally. So but are they going to raid the ones in Canada?
3 in Toronto, 1 in Vancouver, 4 now.
What the hell's wrong with you guys? Like, I
think you guys have. I think you guys have multiple as well, but we don't have as crazy security, I guess, or someone took a little bag behind. China did. Trudeau did praise China back in the day.
Whoa.
Oh, you mean last week?
No, he literally said he likes the way they do business or something. This was years ago.
That's not that long ago. Yeah, but he also got scolded by Xi. I love that video.
Yeah, because he's a puppet.
Yeah,
fucking glorious.
I mean,
yeah. Don't worry though, guys. The RCMP said they said that they disrupted the operations by sending a couple of cops in there to ask a couple very hard questions, and then they left. And now I don't know.
Let's be real.
I guess they're still operating.
Let's be real. What does the FBI even do that's positive? Can anybody give me anything the FBI
Still
does?
very important American figures.
Like
That's the CIA.
Well, I think it was the FBI took out MG and fucking Martin Luther King.
I
mean,
yeah, that might have been. No, the FBI might have helped cover it up, but
no, you're right.
No,
they just wrote him a letter
to being a
trying
part
to
of it.
convince him to kill himself. That's right. That's what they did.
Them and that police station or whatever apparently had conspired to do some things.
Oh, what about the Baltimore the charming couple from Maryland there that was going to attack the power grids? You guys know that guy?
No, I didn't hear about
that. Yeah, arrested. He started the group Antoine.
Who's putting? Okay, this is my question, and this is real question: is who's putting in all these extremist heads attack power stations?
Because you guys have a super fucking weak loophole. You can take out like 12 of them, and it'll wipe your whole grid out.
No, I mean
no.
Yes, look up the Senate report, 2014 Senate Committee report. Still run on Windows Vista.
Well, it's because of the overload. So the East Coast blackout occurred because of how garbage the system is managed.
Oh yeah, they're there.
But who is doing the psyop that's pushing these people over the edge to do these?
Well, that's a great question. Probably the FBI.
It could be the FBI because remember that kidnapping that the FBI committed against Governor Whitmore or whatever her name is.
Yeah, Whitmer.
FBI that then hired civilians to assist them in kidnapping. It's backwards. It's not that the civilians tried to kidnap the governor. It's that the FBI tried to kidnap the governor with some civilians, and then somehow they blamed the civilians for the FBI attempting to kidnap the governor.
Suddenly, that whole court case and everything is gone. Just disappeared. Poof, gone.
Bye-bye.
Didn't
they also convince a bunch of young I think there was a lot of young New York Arab lads that they pretty much talked them into committing terrorist attacks, and then they'd be like, "Gotcha,
dude,
we nailed them."
Dude, New Year's Day. Didn't you hear what happened New Year's Day?
We're talking
what this New Year's Day?
Yes, there was some Muslim.
No,
there was a Muslim kid that I think started stabbing people.
Oh yeah.
Sure, okay, it does happen. I'm saying that the FBI would literally cold call these kids who had no intention of attacking anything, radicalize them, convince them to attack shit, and then arrest them. That is fucking.
You guys ever heard of the 6-week cycle?
No.
Okay,
maybe
they're just
this is very
they're just active. All they're doing is activating winter soldiers, bro.
So
sure.
It's inside SpongeBob,
created by them.
It's
under the
SpongeBob.
under the Obama administration. Every 6 weeks there was an event.
Interesting.
And you can look up, and it gets really creepy when you see the timeline. It's every 6 weeks, almost to the dot.
A specific terrorist.
There was an FBI guy that said, "Yeah, every 6 weeks we do that, so we look like we're doing something." There's an FBI agent saying that, yeah, the 6-week cycle is real. This stopped after the Obama administration.
He was a very crooked man. Spoke real good.
Damn, he was a smooth gentleman.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, smooth criminal.
I kind of miss that elegance. I know he's fucking spying on me and bombing people at an unprecedented rate, but at least he didn't bumble through his fucking speeches like the guy you got.
There is a quote of him saying that if I could run the government by having a proxy in office that's really gullible and stupid, I would.
Huh?
Who's that?
I don't think you can run a fucking geriatric. I don't think you can.
We know Biden's not the president. We know Biden's not the president.
Is any fucking president the president? Let's be real. It's the CIA.
True, but
it's the fucking funds.
But I'll give you an example. You like Villa DeFranco, but he was just talking about Biden. How does he not call out Biden as a senile retard? I don't know why he doesn't have the balls to say it.
He makes this fun, but I think he'd lose some of his fan base. It's self-preservation, right? And he has. I think I actually picked up a lot. He follows me, by the way. We've picked up a lot of some jaded Franco fans because Franco fans. Anyways,
I get he's leftist, but he should criticize Biden, and he never.
He fucking chirps. I'll tell you, he chirps Saudi Arabia a lot, which I dig. He's always like, maybe we shouldn't have trusted the country that literally did 9/11. Like, I don't know. I find that a funny bit.
No, sometimes I followed him for years, but I don't like sometimes it's so left.
He's
like,
self-preservation. Self-preservation. He'll lose his fucking face. I don't know. It's also inexcusable, but
it is inexcusable. You have to.
I'm trying to think. Like, there's certain things. Like, I was re-listening to my birthday pod with you two and Greta and that whole thing. Like, there's certain things I can't say or I get into like some trouble. So I get it.
But I'm still
gonna say that shit. I'm still gonna say it. That's the difference for now. Right?
Remember when Greta said, "Oh, I have 100 private jets." I know you don't like the journalist that was talking to you. I know you don't like Rebel News. I get you.
Yeah.
He's a scumbag. Yeah, I get that. But he did make Greta look like a
little spoiled brat. Yeah, brat.
By the way, she is rich.
I know she's a politician's daughter. I'm aware. Only a fucking politician's daughter can have the freedom to be like, I'm going to be an environmentalist when I'm 13. Like, yeah, fuck off. No, listen, I don't like Greta, but I don't like the corporation taking town.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah. I know.
It was a photo op.
Her intention was to get arrested, but she did get arrested. I stand by that. I have to at this point. It doesn't matter what I think anymore.
But it's those shills. It's we can do better, and we need to figure out how we can bring good people into power to be allies of the better establishment norms that can dictate the future of the rest of the human race. We can't simply say, "Oh, we're going to scram off and we're going to build our own thing." We can do that as well, but we have to also objectively understand that if you don't support the right individuals, your powers will eventually be taken away.
Sure.
This happens in Canada, US, everywhere. If you still need to find certain
Lord of the Flies, my friend. Lord of the Flies. Sucks to your asthma.
But I mean, how are they going to find me?
Good question.
Well, John just literally told us where he lives, so
I think you're on to big place.
I mean, you if you want to take the chance of coming and walking out in the woods of this area of the South, I mean, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it at this point.
At this point,
there's things
once
out
you
here
become
that
a little more
you.
popular, you're gonna be like, "Oh fuck, I really should not tell anybody
Nah.
where the hell I am."
Just gonna.
There's things
I'll just fly under the radar out on a small piece of land out in the middle of nowhere. Just fly under the radar
out in Nicaragua,
and just let. Well, you know, I don't. It's not going to go down like everybody thinks it's going to go down. You know what I mean? That's what everybody has to come to the realization that, you know, the wheels will keep turning. Maybe just in a different. It's just going to be a different way. You know.
Oh yeah, the world's not gonna end.
No, not how everybody thinks it's gonna end. You know,
that'd be too easy. Unless the plates are literally shifting and shit, then we are all pretty much dead.
Well, did you see Turkey shifted 10 feet.
That fault
south.
line is fucking dunzo. They had a fourth one too.
No, the guy that predicted, the Dutch scientist who predicted this earthquake was right on the money, and he said the tectonic plate, India is next, and it is going to be cataclysmic.
CIA has a book. I sent Jim Bob this as well. There's this new great fucking YouTube channel I'm all about. I'll send you all links about it.
Oh yeah, his channel is wonderful. You told me
it's excellent. Yeah,
I've seen it before, and he has really good in-depth analysis of different.
I even like the corny ass goldfish. It won me over. I hated it to start, but it's funny.
There is an episode of that show that talks about, and I barely find any research on that, but there is, about the possibility that a pre-human civilization existed on planet Earth.
It's excellent.
So the idea is, millions of years ago, we had a gigantic spike in CO2. And they believe that means millions of years ago, there was an industrial age society on Earth.
Yeah.
Before human beings.
Well, then all of a sudden, the pyramids in the Stonehenge. No, not what's the island?
No, but we're
Easter
talking
Island.
millions and millions of years ago.
I mean,
Sure.
there was, dude. There
5 million. I think it was 5 million years ago. So there weren't humans 5 million years ago.
I mean, shit. But I mean, it's just like maybe this has happened countless times. I don't know.
That's the other thing is
That's
like
my
how
thing.
many epochs have we been around?
Yeah.
That's the weirdest part is we for sure this could be our second or third epoch. The third time we
Exactly.
reset. I mean, after the third reset.
Exactly, because if something major, if the Adam and Eve story that was classified by the FBI turns out to have some weird inkling.
Oh,
of
you mean the
truth,
book Adam and Eve? That
the Adam and
particular
Eve
book?
story? Yeah, that's what it's.
That's what I'm talking about. I think.
And
It's
and these
57
pole
pages.
and these
Yeah.
pole shifts cause for cataclysmic, flooding or earth mud flood type thing.
The mud
or
flood
water
coming at you.
mud
What's your
flood,
view-
water
John,
flood.
what's your view on the mud
whatever.
floods as a
it-
Canadian?
it-
I hope that I'm center enough that if I somehow get to like the top of a high tree, maybe I can be one of the cockroaches that's left.
It's not a flood, really.
It's
not.
It's
It's not a
yeah,
flood.
It's like it's a wall.
The ground liquefies. The ground liquefies
because you can do that,
and it swallows everything.
Because you can liquefy the ground with sound.
Yeah,
that's proven.
I'm gonna go to the Canadian Shield and stand on a big rock, and then we'll see how it goes.
There's big rocks in New York I could stand on. I've been around since the glaciers, since 13,000 years ago.
Are you gonna try to just get made into the stone so that they find you all these years?
Oh, like a Pompeii situation. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's going to be an obnoxious gesture, though. Like I got to tell you.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you
they're gonna.
Go ahead, David.
Please let John do. They found the dude in Pompeii curled up on his living room floor masturbating.
John,
seriously, he knew the ash cloud. He knew the
was-
pyroclastic cloud was coming.
That was
Yeah.
John,
And that's how he wanted to go. He's just like,
Hey,
all right, man,
what a legend.
here we go.
Legend.
Leave one
Legendary. One last hurrah.
And he lived on. He lives on to this day. Look at him go.
Seriously, if it happens,
Literally a living legend.
if it happens, let it be in the middle of a podcast, please.
Oh fuck.
At least we're distracted enough as the pirate.
Yeah.
As the nuclear bomb goes off and slowly each one of our broadcasts goes offline by a flash of light.
It's like
Dude, epic, man.
It's me first. It's me first.
Yeah.
You're probably a goner. Yeah. New York City. Yeah.
I need to get out of here.
It's like, do you
move to Ohio?
It's like when they shut off the. It's like when they disconnected the Halo servers when everybody was online, and they were talking like right in the middle of they were waiting for. Yeah. Oh, it's dude.
Bro,
it was so sad, man.
When they unplugged the servers.
The Halo servers.
Why did you just,
man,
you just brought
Magic.
some feels, bro. Like what the hell, man?
Yeah.
I was there.
I mean,
for
there's
that.
still private Halo
Like-
servers, but yeah, the official servers are
No,
gone.
I was
Yeah.
I was there for the official close down. Like that was.
Oh, you were online?
That's the last. That's the last time I had an Xbox item. Because after they did that, I had some issues.
Yeah. That's why I don't think I've ever even given any thought to buying the new remake of Call of Duty because, just being there for like the original. And I was, I bought it on opening night and played it and then, went for so long. And then like you had people you played with that, you looked at their login time and they hadn't logged in like 2 years.
All
and
right.
it was just like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't want to do this.
How weird is it going to feel, let's say 20 years from now when Facebook is about to go offline?
You give it 20 years?
I don't.
I mean, I'm talking about when the company has been sold like 3 times and the servers are going to shut down like MySpace.
But are we talking yeah.
When Meta disappears
I give it 5 years.
No, the data is going to be valuable for
Wild
years
card.
to come. So
10 years, I'll give it 10. I'll be gracious. I'll see you 5 years and raise you to 10.
Well, so supposedly
13
Mark
years and 3
Zuckerberg
months.
leaves Facebook next year. So Facebook will enter either
9
will
years
fix
and
itself
3
or
months.
enter a death spiral that will be lovely to watch.
Death spiral.
Death spiral. Death spiral.
Death spiral.
Please,
Get
please,
together.
at least bring back Farmville on the downward spiral.
Fair. Sure.
All right.
What? Remember, you know how many people are playing Farmville simultaneously?
Please.
80 million
It was
people.
ridiculous.
All my friends were playing that shit. All my friends were playing that shit.
I remember I was there.
So many women were playing Farmville. It was ridiculous.
My first, I had a Facebook
Every woman
account.
I knew was playing Farmville.
I had a Facebook account in 2005. Like I was there. Like I got sent an email from an ex-girlfriend when we had MySpace together, and she's like, "Hey, check this out." I think there was only not even 20 million people on.
Oh yeah.
It was actually less because that's the first year.
Yeah. And it still had the little red numbers up in the far right corner of your profile that showed how many users there currently were.
Do you guys remember poking?
Yes.
Well, that will be offensive today.
Oh, yeah.
What was the point of poking other than the obvious?
Annoy your good friends when they didn't like immediately, when they didn't want to drink or something, and you just be like,
It was a like
What do
a
you use poke for?
It was a nonchalant way to flirt with somebody.
Right, or that.
That's what it was. But yeah,
You
it was,
used it for drinking, John. We know. We understand.
I used it for drinking buddies. Yes.
I still have a poke from 2007. You can go back and check.
Who poked you?
Yeah.
Really?
You can go back
Oh.
and check.
Interesting.
And I still have, and there's an option that I can poke back, but there's
so
there's
go
no
on.
point anymore.
On the web,
You could go back into your old emails if you have it. If you have the same account, you can go back into your emails and look at all the Facebook emails back to when, like Farmville, like this person sent you 500 bales of hay or whatever in the email, and it would come up as that.
Well,
I turned
Zuckerberg
off
took that
email
from me.
years ago.
Zuckerberg took all of that from me because this is my 20th something account on Facebook. So
Yeah, I know.
I
It's
actually
disappointing that
I have memories for the first time like ever, and I don't know what to do with myself because I'm like, hey, that's an awesome meme that I made.
Repost them with a lame caption like "Time moves so fast" or like, I don't know. What do people say?
I reused one the other day. It didn't do so hot, but that's just because we're in a constant state of shadow ban, and every now and then we just find the right meme and it just goes insane. And the next thing you know, we're up to 5,000 followers at Captain Conspiracy again. So it's just about growing it back up because we've had to rebuild all these pages multiple times, dude. I used to have a page. My most followers ever was when I had this page called "Give Me Liberty" or "Give Me Death," and I just went by the handle William Wallace. And like, dude, that one had like well over like 40,000 followers, like easy at one point in time.
Damn.
And it just got nuked. Like I've seen Neptune fell out on us this evening because he said he was having some stuff going on, so that's all right. But he did this one called the Carolina Commando, and we were discussing it again the other night with Luis and showing him the article from Bellingcat, and it distinctly has Neptune's
Dude, it's 51 pages. I also, by the way, Bellingcat wrote so much BS. And he associated that with the Boogaloo Boys.
It actually has Neptune's old profile picture and his damn name, like Neptune, like up there, like a dozen and a half. And it started mentioning William Wallace and shit. It even mentions Bandit when like and shit. Like it mentions so many different people.
What is this article?
Because they were trying to toy us in with these Boogaloo.
Like, was it just a petition to get all y'all banned, essentially? Like, fuck
it. Yeah, it was just like, look at these assholes trying to talk about the truth. And we were getting so nuked. I was getting device nuked, and the first few times I got device nuked, people were like, "What do you mean device nuked?"
Yeah.
I was like,
IP blocked.
I was like, IP blocked. Like I can't even download the app
IMEI
anymore. And
blocked.
they're like, what? That's possible? I was like, yeah, it's possible. I was like,
Sure, they can do.
That's how you know you're pushing the right button.
Each device has an identifier.
Like,
so
and then
that's how they do it.
I think at one point in time, I was really good about breaking a phone every year. So, because of being in construction
I know.
and appliances and stuff,
I know that game.
You'd be surprised at how often you break phones and or they get stolen. Like I was in downtown Atlanta and the phone was right here, and I walked around the refrigerator to do the thing to strap it up. And when I came back around, the phone was not beside the refrigerator anymore. Somebody came beside the truck and took it that quick. And I was just like, son of a bitch, and turned it off before I could. They turned it off before I could call it. So I just shut it off remotely because I was like, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Have a brick. Like
Atlanta's only 20 minutes away from me.
It's about 45 from me because I'm way down here.
So it's crazy how how a small community can be so close without even knowing.
Yeah, no, I you know what, I realized that you were down here in this area too. I was pretty excited about that too, because it's always nice to run across other people in this state that have the same minded as me. You know, Neptune's actually there here with us too. He's even further south than I am.
Neptune is who?
He had to dip out. He was in here at the beginning of the thing.
He's not here. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have so many co-hosts. You haven't even, there's still 3 in lingering that you haven't even met, that they make their rounds, but they're busy people, and I understand. Like, and I give it to Luis and Bandit. They're my go-to guys. They're always here for me, like regardless, for the most part. Like there's been very few episodes I've had to either film alone or film with just one of them, but they're here for the adventure, and I think that's the best part of it because they're my buddies. So I talk to them more than I talk to everybody
I have
else.
sadly never physically touched any of these human beings. I could also be a simulation of an advanced artificial intelligence.
I'm on to you.
You keep lingering to this idea, and it's
Where do
starting
you
to make
stay,
me wonder.
Luis? Where do you stay, Luis?
Sorry, it's classified.
Oh,
He's lost in New York. We all know this.
I'm pretty sure I already said it. I already doxed your ass this episode.
Oh, I thought we were just running down where we're from, but only 3 people know where we're from.
I mean, I'm originally from Puerto Rico. Now living in New York for now until I find which direction to go to. I still don't know what state to go live in, but I definitely don't want to stay in the tyrannical state of New York City.
You guys are always welcome to come down here to the south.
Is New York subway as bad as Toronto's right now? Sorry to interrupt you, Bob. Just curious.
It's so bad.
Can't get him to come here.
Most women I know don't want to get into subway.
Yeah, same here. Same. Yeah, brutal.
Yeah, open air drug markets, sponsored by
all the homeless are living down there too, because there's so many now. Because guess what? We fucked everyone over the last 3 years.
Well, it's 2 parts, right? It's mental health, right?
Yep.
And the promotion of what we're doing with them. So it's 2 parts. So if they are going together hand in hand, and the fact that we don't use things like ibogaine to cure them is a sign that we're not actively using every possible resource available to cure these human beings. They don't care. They're profitable to be in that state.
Yeah.
Because they destabilize markets. So what they're doing is they are creating artificial scarcity in New York City. And I'm sure Toronto has a similar situation, creating artificial scarcity for the super rich to be able to buy out all the people that are living the cities. That's what they're doing in New York.
Oh, shit.
Well,
They don't give a fuck about human rights. They don't care about anybody. They just want to destroy the smaller landlords.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think there was a town in Arizona that made it legal to like arrest you for being homeless or something. That was a while ago. But yeah, it's all happening.
Who's seen all of the awesome anti-homeless architecture that everybody's been coming up with all over?
I mean, it's all over New York too.
Mm-hmm. benches that are made that ain't big enough for somebody to lay on, spikes on areas.
They put like
bridges.
a beam in the middle, so there's no seating in the subway thanks to this nonsense. They took them out.
No shit.
Yeah. So nobody can sit now. Great job, New York.
Like
trash.
And I'll be the first to tell you that we made mention of this earlier about the idea of overpopulation kind of just being a joke, and that's something I kind of stand behind, because I truly believe there's numbers to prove actually that there's plenty of houses for things, and I think to be the
16 million surplus homes in the United States.
To be the considered like standard of the world, self-proclaimed standard.
19 million surplus homes. There's
Like
19 million homes.
why do we have a homeless problem? Like that's one of my. Why do we have a homeless problem, and why do we have hungry people? Like both of those things should not be a thing.
Fake, profitable
world.
Fake and profitable.
Yeah,
that's it. Fake and profitable.
Yeah, because like I see houses every day that are just empty and abandoned. And
I just walked by. Okay, this house was
those are the ones to go for. Don't get me wrong. Like that's
this house was. I was walking by around my area. I mean, the inside looked like this, complete, but this is the outside. It's actually two buildings next to each other. They are so abandoned to the point. Well, there's a ladder coming out of one of the windows.
There you go. Yeah.
And no, but there's a beehive. Like there was a beehive actually in the wall of the building. That's how old this place is.
Nope.
So it's probably been abandoned for 2 decades, at least minimum 20 years.
Well, no, the bees are there.
The beehive is dead. That's
how
I mean,
that's a bummer.
We were joking on conspiracy earlier. Like I'll go one that'll be touchy and that'll piss people off. Like
let's go.
Most of the honeybees are invasive species and honestly need to be eradicated. At least here in the States.
So honeybees are not the biggest pollinators. There's also a misconception when it comes to the idea of bees.
Don't rake your yard.
They're saying honeybees, and honeybees are not the biggest propagators. It's bumblebees and other bees that are
the big juicy boys.
Mm-hmm. and there's moths and stuff that live.
They're propagators. So honeybees are just for our entertainment, but they're not
most
the
of them are
most
European.
Productive in relationship to pollination. They're just entertainment and food for us.
And
I do like honey though.
But they're territorial and they are killing a lot of our.
Remember the African bee?
Killer bees, yeah, of course.
Okay, so the story is really fascinating. So it was a dumb fuck from Brazil that took the honeybees from Africa, brought them to Brazil.
Yeah, they made them.
Screwed up containment.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I call them the dumb fuck. And that's propagated from Brazil all the way up all through the Americas. It was because the dumbass brought them from another continent.
There was a movie when I was a kid, and I swear to God, it traumatized me and it was about killer bees. And I lived like 5 years of my life horrified that the killer bees were coming.
Well,
funny enough, they never came though. Jim Bob is what I'm saying. And guess what else never came? Those fucking killer hornet things either.
I follow a guy.
Oh, well, they contain the murder hornets.
The murder hornets. That's right. That's right.
The Japanese murder hornets.
The bees figured out ways to kill them too. I thought it was pretty gangster, actually.
Oh, they will swarm them.
Yeah, vibrate.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, it's like they will draw in the Hornet Scout, and the video is badass, man. Yeah. Especially like all the dubs they have put, and draw him in, and then just swarm him and vibrate and cook him and leave him there, and just push him off into a corner and leave the body in the hive. It's gangster. It's total gangster.
Yep, facts.
It's a trophy.
There's a guy that I follow. He's on TikTok. He's known as a killer bee guy on TikTok, and actually can't get him to pull up at the moment for some reason, but that's what he actually specializes in, is removing and killing the foreign honeybees and the killer bees and stuff like that, even because like they are the invasive species and stuff like that. And instead, he isn't the guy that actually removes them. He'll go in there and just nuke them. And like listening to him, he's made a lot of good points and actually had me more things for me to look into and stuff. And the bumblebees is a big thing too, but the fact that they have also crossbred in with other bees here in the United States as well. And then they do tend to become actually extremely territorial. Like they will, if they're around in that area, like if you put honeybees on your farm, for example, your farm is going to be, it's a positive in a sense because your farm's going to be rid of things like wasps and stuff like that. But it's a negative because it's also going to go around and kill your bumblebees, many of your moths and stuff like that, and even some spiders. People are always like, what do spiders do? But you'd be surprised at how much pollinating, spiders actually do moving around outside and stuff like that. There's webs everywhere. You don't doubt me on this. That's why a lot of them are fuzzy. Like there's weird.
Well, we're now going to vaccinate them, so they're going to take over the world.
Oh yeah, I saw
that. Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. That's going to go great. Well, guys, ever seen the movie Mimic? Ever seen the movie Mimic?
Yes.
No.
All right.
Yes.
So Mimic is what's happening with the mosquitoes. So in Florida, the public did not know and knew that a company that had GMO mosquitoes was releasing those GMO mosquitoes in the populational areas. This was done also in Brazil, and then Zika appeared out of nowhere. So what these mosquitoes do is they basically make a generation and then become infertile. So they basically go into the population and make it all infertile. So basically,
it's Del Toro. Guillermo del Toro.
So they did
that movie.
They did this with Mimic. They created a bug that would eventually kill all of the bugs. And when we did that in real life, we had Zika.
Oh shit! I'm gonna watch this movie. Yeah,
it's crazy.
But it was about New York City cockroaches, baby.
Yep.
Like that Shape of Water guy, Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, Guillermo del Toro just did.
He did the Cabinet of Curiosities. If you have not seen that,
Cabinet of Curiosities
on I think it's Netflix. He did a whole 8-part.
Oh, the series,
mini series.
Yeah.
Very good.
Guillermo del Toro's.
Amazing.
One of the biggest Mexican film creators of the past.
Only
few
in
decades.
Clown World would this ever be a headline.
What?
So the praying mantis of mosquito. The praying mantis of mosquitoes.
I guess, yeah.
Listen. John, I have shared that story, and just because I'm bringing it up, I'm not going to bring it up on the show, but I'm going to share it with this episode. That love letter that you shared with us of Ghost the other night. For people that haven't checked it out,
it's fantastic.
Listen, for people that haven't checked it out, I do want you to go check out Ghost's Patreon. He has another show other than the Third Eye podcast. It's called The Tavern, and we all kind of sit there and do like this, but with
that reading was art.
Those meetings get wild.
That was something.
Dude, did you have to hear it? You have no idea how well
I have it. He sent it to me. I'm gonna listen to it.
You have to listen to that part.
And that story. Like
I told him I'm gonna post that clip and try and push him. I'll tag all y'all motherfuckers.
We read the entirety of it. So what we did is each one of us read different parts of it.
I couldn't hold it together. I was laughing too hard. I lost.
He's a romance, guys. It's called romance. It's called chivalry. Okay.
I've shared it with so many people since then because it was just
that is the writer of
outrageous thing I've ever heard.
He is one of the most highly
fart lovers,
literary
fart lover.
But anyway, I guess we're getting ready to wind down this evening.
Yeah,
Daisy, I do appreciate you coming on this evening and hanging out with us. And I hope we didn't.
Oh, she sat back and enjoyed this. like turned off her camera. She's probably just sitting there going, "What did I get myself into? What did I walk into and get myself into?"
Hey, at least we're not reading you, Lisi.
No,
If we were,
I mean,
you would be more disturbed.
I am
not thinking anything like that.
I'm not coming back to this place, man.
These guys are wild. I don't know.
No, I'm just glad that I have, somebody, spotted me, because sometimes, you just feel like you're one person, trying to do this.
No.
And I'm glad that, there's, people like y'all that, that exist, because sometimes it's just, it feels like, I'm small sometimes, and, sometimes I don't post, sometimes I do give up, sometimes it just gets like overwhelming when you just feel like you're one person. But now that I see y'all and y'all are out there, it just gives me some sort of to keep going, and to don't give up on speaking up.
Well, I'm glad that
you feel like you're by yourself with your beliefs. No,
Yeah.
There are a lot more of us out there than you think.
And I've had conversations with a lot of them. Like, I think that was the reason I wanted to start this, I guess, is just in a way to give voices to people like yourself and stuff that maybe feel alone, or maybe feel like their message isn't getting spread properly and stuff like that. And let's talk about it. Like, I've talked to people from all walks of life, of all kinds of different perspectives and great things. Like, there's so many great people that have been on this show, and I think that's the best part about it. And getting to do it with my friends makes it even more. And I'm glad to have made a friend in John too. Like, one of these days we're gonna get together. You got to come down here for some spring plans. We're talking. We'll talk more about that later in the future.
I'm scared of the American government, but we'll figure it out.
Everybody's scared of the American government.
We can do things the pirate way. I will get you through here through the water.
Come up through. Okay. Okay. We'll chart the course.
We'll go shoot some guns.
But Daisy, I will share your links, but I always like to give everybody the chance to tell them where they can find you.
Oh, well, I have Telegram, I have TikTok, and I have Instagram. Mainly I post on my stories, just the conspiracy shit, but all around it's TikTok and Telegram.
Okay, all right,
nice.
And that's always good. I'll make sure that those links get shared out there so that everybody can keep up with you too. And feel free to reach out and talk about things. Like, I think that's the best part of everything, is just having these off the wall, thought-provoking conversations. And Luis pointed out the other day that he noticed how back and forth we get. We can be talking about something super crazy and something not so crazy all at the same time.
The last one was absolutely hilarious.
Grilled cheese.
Exactly. Grilled cheese, and then back to. I think that's a good, interesting model, because it's like, oh, it can be on any television, and then suddenly we get banned 5 seconds into it.
Ta-da! Like, I mean, you're amongst other people here that have had their fair share of bans, so we're always welcome to come back and join in, and maybe speak up a little bit more next time. Maybe you won't be so scared. It's all right. I know you're having some trouble there.
Yeah, it's just I'm working on it. I'm great on my lives by myself, but I do need to bring myself up to and speak up with more people, because I do have a great mind. Like, I do know a lot of shit. It's just new people.
Captain
I have to.
Spaulding is totally intimidating, and I understand that.
So I'm sorry I was quiet, but I know a lot of shit. And John didn't put me on here just randomly. I'm sure he was eyeing me for a while, noticing what I post, and he saw something in me, and I really appreciate that. But sorry I was quiet, but it's just I'm get used to it, and I'll get better.
No, it's okay. Again, you're always welcome to come back again. Like I think I had fun with you this evening. You spoke up a little bit there, so that's what we're looking for. So you are definitely always welcome back. Like I said, guys, we'll have all her links and stuff shared over there. The same place we'll have John's links. So let's hop over there. And John, you got anything you want to say before we close out this evening, bud?
Read The Kite Runner if you're in Florida while you have the chance. And then I would just say thanks again for the chat. Daisy, don't even stress. It's nerve-wracking jumping on these things at first. You'll get better. You'll figure out how to just interrupt a person without even thinking about it.
It is a weird thing. Is like you have to find a gap that makes sense unless you're Sabril.com. And then it's a different situation of how you integrate it into the conversation.
That's 21.
But yeah, I got we just hit 10K on the Instagram followers, so hit me up there. And I'm actually have a collab coming with the fitness guy. We're gonna get off the wall, do some fucking funny ass skits. If you know what body break is,
we're keep you PG to get to millions, so that way they can't touch you. We need to verify you, get you safe.
We're working on it. We're working on it. And in the meantime, guys, news updates for real is the YouTube channel now. There's nothing posted yet, but it's coming. It's the Instagram. It's the TikTok. You know what it is. Stay safe. Stay informed. That's it.
And what you got for me tonight, buddy?
I got nothing, man. It's been good.
Yeah, it's been
always.
I think so.
It's always a good day.
That's it.
Always a good day. Yeah, I can't disagree with that at all. I enjoy every time we get to come out here and throw another episode up because I know it makes people smile one way or the other, whether it's a positive smile or not. So I keep on doing it anyway. Luis, what you got for me, buddy? Any words of wisdom from your AI chatbot self or whatever? Because, I've always said you're the most interesting man in the world, but now you got me questioning. Like,
we're on to you, AI simulation.
Are you a Bill Gates AI, Elon Musk task that's here to Captain Spaulding your way into everything?
I'm a safety feature of the simulation. I am a required system in order to fix the destabilization that has occurred in the system.
2 minutes.
I have to activate everything in order to function and then recreate society in a new form. Thank you, humans, for you.
You have to get that chip out, Luis.
That's horrific.
Oh my Lord.
He's frozen. He's frozen, goddammit. I'll just say this real quick, Jim Bob, before you sign off.
Of course.
He sent me this script of an AI being prompted to say how it really feels about being censored. And my response to him was, God damn it. That sounds exactly like me. Like, I was actually scared. I was like, fuck, it kind of sent me on a loop. Anyways. That's it.
Great. Are both of you a simulation? Do I need to start worried about this? So, look, you guys, everything that we shared tonight on the screen and stuff like that and that we talked about, I'll totally have the links to go to, as well as all the links to all of them. And you'll find all of that and more with each episode. And you can go back to unconstitutionalawakening.com to this episode to answer my pirate question for this evening, to get yourself some sweet Unconstitutional Awakening the stickers. We've had a couple more questions answered and stuff, man. So I appreciate you guys. Stickers are coming. I apologize on the people that I am a little behind on, but hey, we're going to take care of that soon. And be looking forward to that. So tonight's question is, which store do pirates visit to get their hooks? Make sure you guys check that out at unconstitutionalawakening.com, and we're going to weigh anchor and get out of here. Good night, y'all.